Hey guys, Sam from Condo here. I'm going to be changing things up a bit today and actually talking about a product that we have launching in Montreal, downtown, One Square Phillips Phase 2. I'm going to quickly be going over a little bit to note about the downtown Montreal for those of you who may not know anything about it. If you're from Montreal or if you already know everything you need to know about Montreal, feel free to skip ahead to where I start reviewing the product. So what is notable about, Montreal, our French neighbors, is it is the French capital of Canada. It is full of rich history, a European feel with, different architecture, a lot of low-rise with spiral steel staircases, which is a nice breakup from, the taller builds with, older low-rises, which is nice. A lot of multiculturalism here in Montreal, which brings a lot of diversity in restaurants and cafes scattered across the city, so great food. There's 7 universities in total, so it is the #1 student city in North America. It's also the #1 host in North America for international events. There's festivals all year round in Montreal. It's full of culture, full of art. It's consistently ranking for safety, quality of life, happiest cities and most livable city. There is a current mission for Montreal to make the downtown Montreal the most beautiful and greenest in North America, which is quite nice. So I think over the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see a lot of refacing in the streets and different parks, along with the development that is coming with all the pre-construction coming here in Montreal, and it ranks among the top 10 places to live in the world. So the population, it is the second largest city in Canada, right behind Toronto, with 1.6 million residents. For Quebec, it is welcoming 50,000 new residents in 2022, and also an additional 18,000 that were placed on hold from 2020. Students in Montreal see about 180,000 yearly students, with 35,000 of them being international. Employment rates, the unemployment rate is only 4.5%. Major tech firms are opening up shop in Montreal. So if you think about it, the rent is half of what it is in Silicon Valley, and with other major cities like Toronto and Vancouver, who've already kind of seen their tech boom, office space and rent in general is just, heightened. So the next best thing, especially in my opinion, is Montreal. So you're getting a lot more, luxury space and larger space for half the cost. And this is projected by CBRE Research. You can see here on the right as well. So they're kind of projecting that Montreal is the next city in Canada to kind of see major growth in the tech space and, companies moving in there. It is the most affordable city for tech startups in North America. It's home to about 141,000 tech workers, which is the second overall in Canada. It ranks top for tech opportunities, jobs in Canada as well, second in the world for telecommuting, and it's a global hub for AI, so artificial intelligence, with about 600 employees and grad students working in that space. Education, like I said before, it's ranked #1 student city in North America. It has the highest concentration of grad students, home to several of the most prestigious universities in Canada with global rankings as well. You can see them there on the right-hand side. Healthcare, there is an excellent healthcare presence in Montreal with Montreal General and Jewish General and CHUM, ranking under the top 200 in the world. Jewish General being the 4th top in Canada, and in total there's about 30 to 40 hospitals scattered across Montreal. A lot of them being connected to the universities as well. Transit, Montreal has one of the best transit systems in Canada. It's extensive, it's fast, and it's also affordable, especially for students and seniors that get major discounts on it. And if you look here on the right, the Réseau Express LRT is the lime green line that you see kind of going up here. It is a $6.3 billion project that's already underway, with 26 stations across 67 kilometers of the island. And yes, Montreal is an island. And it's going to be connecting the outer pockets, outskirts of Montreal, and also the airport to the already in place subway and bus systems. So that will be a nice addition to the city. And there's actually, if you can kind of see closely right here where I'm circling, this is steps away. This stop right here is going to be steps away from where One Square Phillips is. And once completed, it will be one of the largest automated networks in the world. And then also you have bikes, of course. There's over 700 kilometers of bike networks across Montreal and growing. They have a couple different projects that are adding extensions onto this. So that also comes with making the city greener and creating newer and updated bike paths as well. There's currently an the REV project, which is 184 kilometer bike path connecting various paths across the island that are already in place. And one of the most notable things about pre-construction in Montreal that I specifically noticed and my Toronto clients noticed when looking over there is the closing costs, which are a lot cheaper. So you have no development charges in Montreal. You have no investor HST on closing. There's not really rent control for the current rental units. And I can explain that another time, but specifically to pre-construction, there is no rent control post 5 years after completion. So you can raise your rent whatever you want if it is investment. And this isn't relevant anymore, but there is no foreign investor tax in Montreal as well. So your major closing costs in Montreal are going to be your notary fees and your welcome tax, which is essentially the equivalent to land transfer tax. Difference being in Toronto, you pay municipal and provincial. For example, on a $600,000 condo, Toronto, your land transfer is going to be about $13,000. For Montreal, your welcome tax is only about $8,000. And rent. So for new condos in Montreal, and this is today, studios go for about $1,500 to $1,800. One beds you're looking at $2,000 to $2,200. Two beds $3,000 and up. I have seen some two beds that have rented with maybe like a nicer view of Mount Royal or a terrace that they're generating about $4,000, $4,200 and above a month. So if you're getting something like that, but without a view, you're looking at about $3,000. It's safe to say about $4 per square foot for your rent, and the median condo price has gone up the past 2 years, approximately 16% year over year. If you look here on the right, this station, McGill, right here, is about a 3-minute walk from One Square Phillips. So you're actually right in the middle of everything. You really are in the heart of the city, and this is, as you can see on this little map, this is just the average price point of a condo along the transit lines. This is kind of where the higher price points are being generated. Keep in mind, this is from 2021, so obviously these are higher today. And this is where the product is going to be. So One Square Phillips Phase 2 is the second phase of the very popular One Square Phillips, which was a highly desired project in Montreal. When it will be completed, it's going to be the tallest residential tower in Montreal. It's about 61 stories. And you're located at St. Catherine West and St. Alexander Street, the corner here. And where you can see the dark purple here, you're actually kind of taken aback off the road and kind of within your own little oasis. So all these lighter purple coloring here, that they're actually buildings. So it's going to be nice, quiet, and private back here with a nice courtyard in between the two builds. And I'll show you what that looks like in a couple seconds here. Let me just quickly touch on the developer, which is Brivia Group. They are well known in Montreal. They do, luxury product, I would say, and they're actually starting to expand a little bit. So I know that they have a project coming in Vancouver, the Nelson, and they've actually acquired land here in Toronto, where I'm based, in Markham, that they will be developing in the future as well. But aside from One Square Phillips in Montreal, I know that besides their completed product, they recently completed YUL. In pre-construction right now, they have Canson Condos, the Mansfield, and also One Square Phillips nearby, is right next door as well. If you're looking for something, you know, larger, because the second phase of One Square Phillips, there's a lot of smaller units. If you're looking for something larger, there's definitely some remaining units with, you know, higher views in the first phase. So I can also show you those as well if you're interested. Or, you know, they also have other product, or there's other product nearby as well. So One Square Phillips phase 2. So you can see here on the right, it is the low rise. So you're only 21 stories, but there's 441 units in total. So like I said before, for phase 1, 61 stories, you have a lot of larger units, you know, nice big corner units with beautiful views. But phase 2 is really comprised of the smaller units, which is in high demand for downtown Montreal, especially a luxury product with smaller units. So it's 400, like I said, 441 suites total, spread out across studios, 1 bedrooms, and 2 beds. And on average, they're priced at about, with tax, $1,100 per square foot. And when you compare that to, you know, other pre-construction nearby, especially luxury product, you're seeing 1,200 square foot, and I've even seen some products 1,300 per square foot hitting in Montreal, which for Montreal is high, but when you're comparing to another, you know, major city like Toronto or Vancouver, it's actually quite cheap for what you're getting. 2025 occupancy for phase 2, and phase 1, which is already under construction, you're looking at occupancy for 2024. And as with every pre-construction, I add about 6 months to be conservative with the construction. We all know it's usually late. So you're getting pre-public access right now. So they actually just launched yesterday. Prices and floor plans were just released. You're getting a free locker with your early access, free notary fees with your early access, and also a free assignment. So we are submitting worksheets today. And if you're local in Montreal and you actually want to go into the presentation center, we have someone on the ground in Montreal to take you there, to give you, you know, the rundown of the project, the finishings, show you everything in person if you need to kind of see that. And I myself am also taking, you know, phone calls, Zoom appointments, what have you. Just, you know, reach out by email at sam@precondo.ca, or feel free to give me a call. It's linked in the email, and we will help you in any way we can, whether that be with this product, maybe the phase 1, or anything else in Montreal. So this is a little architectural plan of the site layout. So this is the main street here, and you're coming into the courtyard right here. And so you can see this is phase 2, this is phase 1 right over here, and it's kind of tucked away, and these are those other buildings surrounding it, making it private, like I was talking about before. This is just another image, a closer look up of the facade of phase 2, which is nice. I think this is going to age really well. To me, it looks quite luxury in comparison to just an all glass tower. So the facade is completely different from phase 1. And you can see a little bit of the rooftop terrace right here as well, which I'll get into amenities in a second here. So to give you a little bit more detail about that site location, so this is Phillips Square right here, and this is where you would be coming into the courtyard right here, phase 2 being right here, and excuse me, phase 1 being right here. And this is that image again. So you are only about, once I zoom out here for you, you're only about a 3-minute walk. Where is, there we go. 3-minute walk to the McGill subway station. So very close. You are also steps away from McGill University, University of Quebec in Montreal, over here Concordia University, Montreal Underground City as well, and you're also extremely close to Old Montreal. So if you want to take a walk through there, look at some historical buildings from the 18th century, by all means. You have the Montreal Underground City right here, which is about 33 kilometers of underground tunnels, shops, different businesses like that. And you are sandwiched at One Square Phillips in between the waterfront and also Mount Royal, right in the heart of things. If you look at it like that. And for those of you who don't know Montreal, Mount Royal, I guess, if you're comparing to Toronto, is maybe the equivalent of High Park. we'll say. So you're looking at 200 hectares of green space here. If I had to pin the area for 1 Square Phillips and compare it to Toronto, and I'm only saying this because there's a lot of clients that I have from Toronto who might be watching this. If I had to kind of pin what area this is, it's kind of a hybrid between King West and Yorkville without the buffer neighborhoods in between. So you really are situated in the perfect location. And if I zoom out here, you can kind of get a little bit. I'm going to switch this way because this is how the transit map was showing before. So if I zoom out here, I pinned a couple of the universities in purple, so you can get an idea of where they are in comparison. And also, there is a new HEC university building that's opening up about 5-minute walk from our site here. So they're actually over this way, but they will be opening up a spot nearby as well, so about 5 minutes nearby. The yellow ones are just notable things, Mount Royal, Underground City. This is, and then, sorry, blue is just a couple different hospitals in the area. There's a lot more, like I said earlier in the slides. Jumping into the amenities for 1 Square Phillips Phase 2. So you actually have about 18,000 square footage of amenity space. Let me see here. Your rooftop lounge and bar is going to be one of them. We kind of had a look previously at the rooftop there. It's going to have a lot of green space up there as well. One of my favorite amenities here is actually there is a dog relief area that they've integrated. This is just a lounge on the top floor overlooking the rooftop terrace as well, so you have your party room. You have a linear pool and spa in here, not too big, not too small, just enough to have one, which is nice. This is just a image of an example of what an interior looks like. And your finishings. Looking at this rendering, this might be an upgrade to get paneled appliances because you're going to have stainless steel Miele appliances. You get engineered hardwood flooring, and my favorite, you get heated porcelain tile in the bathroom. There are a lot of smaller units in this building, but it really is, it's still kind of kept that luxury feel of it. It's not just cookie cutter, standard finishes. They really have put a lot of thought into this, and once I kind of jump into the layouts of 1 Square Phillips Phase 2, they really use the space quite well. There's, I would say 99% of the layouts have zero wasted space, and I only say that just to be conservative. And you can pause this if you want. This is the location, and it's just kind of showing you what's nearby. So I know that most of you are all waiting for this, the starting prices. So starting prices for a studio is $322,000. 1 bed start at about $490, 2 beds starting at about $720. Sounds too good to be true because it is, unfortunately. In Montreal, they do not add taxes onto their pricing. So you do have to add taxes onto this pricing to be conservative, at about 15% to land you around what you'll get. And the nice thing about that, if you're eligible for any rebates, it's all calculated upfront. So there's no, applying for rebates on closing. It's actually all calculated upfront for, if you're moving and you do get a rebate on that additional 15% type thing. So you'll know the exact price when you're signing and what your rebate is with that integrated into that price. And yeah, so let me pop over to my favorite layouts here. On the left, you have a nice 1 bed, pretty straightforward, zero wasted space. You walk right in with a very small buffer area. I really like U-shaped kitchens. I find they provide, way more storage space. In a condo, windows the whole length of the condo unit and a little balcony here. And if you can, if you have the means for it, I would probably go for a 2 bed in this product. Just due to, the nature of the city and a growing city, I find, over time, it's the 2 beds that, you're going to see eventually become, as a city grows and, detached homes become unaffordable, and, you see more and more families going into condos. So eventually maybe 2 beds are going to take over, or you can have 2 students in there as well sharing rent, which I know a lot of students love to do, right? In this specific layout, I really like this one. It's one of the cheaper 2 beds, but it's a nice split layout. You have 2 bathrooms here, corner unit, but there are a lot of windows. So your second bed here actually has its own window. So it's not an interior 2 bed, meaning it has its own window in the room. And when you walk in, yes, there is a hallway, which I don't always love, but there are windows on this one. So it's gonna be nice and bright with some, sun exposure. It's not gonna feel, dark and gloomy over here. And you have a nice, big balcony here overlooking your open kitchen and dining. So that's definitely one of my favorite 2 bedrooms there. If you're interested, please reach out. Like I said, we have someone there on the ground in Montreal taking appointments. If you're local to Montreal, we can set that up over this weekend if you're free. If you're not, we can simply just fill out a worksheet for you. Signings will probably be happening in allocations in next week. Happy to jump on a phone call, Zoom call with you, help and answer any questions that you may have. And yeah. Hopefully that you found this video useful, and I look forward to hearing from you.